We continue with our class Halachos of Brochos. It's class number 34. We're going to continue with Shmiras Haloshon. And today's topic is Folly of Dishonesty. Okay. So it says, above we spoke of the great reward for avoiding strife in situation when one has clearly been wrong. Right, so okay. There's one who clearly was wrong. And what of one who committed the wrong, who profited at the expense of the neighbor's loss? He acted wickedly and foolishly, for his sinful acts will not earn him 1 cent more than what has been decreed from decreed for him on Rosh Hashanah. As we spoke last time and times before, so this this person was acting wisely, right, when he avoided this strife. And this one who who actually thought that he's winning, he's not going to win, and then he's not going to win, right, because he's not going to make any extra money that would decrease on Rosh Hashanah. By denying the person, the neighbor, that which has rightfully his, he will ultimately be denied that he's been decreed for himself. So basically, right, as we always say. So these people are not going to gain. Whatever he was trying to steal from another person, so it would be taken from him. Okay. In the end, his wrongful gain will cause his rightful earnings to become lost as well. For as the sages teach that the punishment for forcing one's personal burden upon another Jew is the loss of one's own possessions. In Sukkah 29b. So basically, he's going to lose whatever he was trying to steal from another person, plus his own money. So not a very wise man, not very wise thing to do, to steal and cheat other people. The sages further teach, if you take that is which not your own, you will be like your own will be taken from you. Derech Eretz Zuta, chapter 3. To be honest is in financial matter is to exchange the channel of the sustenance that heaven provides for one that is sinful. To be dishonest, to be dishonest in financial matters is to exchange the channel of something that heaven provides, a pure channel that Hashem uses to send you money, for one that is sinful, right? So not a very wise idea. Hashem declares it is not enough that the wicked rob, but they even inconvenienced me, so Hashem is talking, right, to return the money to the rightful owner. So let's see Sanhedrin 8:8. So let's see the commentary we're going to explain. Obviously, nothing is difficult for Hashem to do. The inconvenience me means that settling of accounts might require changes in a natural course of events. Right, so whatever Hashem promised to that person, to that original person from whom the thief stole, I mean, he has to restore whatever his lost is. He's going to restore. He already promised. So, but in order to do that, he would need to do something about the nature, right? Some miracles to get that person money. Okay, continue. The sages further teach, if you take that is which not your own will be, okay, I'm sorry we said that. To be okay, I apologize, continue. The above is illustrated in episode of Yaakov and Lavan. Before leaving Lavan's house, Yaakov was shown in a prophetic dream that the birth of the unusual colored sheep in his flock was divinely decreed compensation for Lavan's ill treatment of him. So whatever, as we know the story, whatever Lavan was trying, he changed the contract of Yaakov So as Torah said, literally 100 times, right? In the case of this, in the course of this, 6 years, right? He changed many times, right? And despite all of this, Hashem paid to righteous Yaakov whatever he had to receive. And Rashi explained the angel had brought colored sheep from Lavan's flock to Yaakov's. So this would occur. As a justification of such a divine intervention, Yaakov was told in his dream, "For I have seen all that Lavan is doing to you." Bereshit 31:12. So Hashem said, "Don't worry, don't just do your job. I'm going to take care of you." And as Yaakov later told Lavan directly, "I served you 14 years for your 2 daughters and 6 years for your flocks, and you changed my wages 100 times." So I would say, just say, yeah, literally 100 times, because he was desperate to cheat Yaakov. And guess what? Did not work in the end. Okay. We stop here. Okay, so we continue with our, what is it, chapter what? Chapter 15, I guess. Chapter 16, doubts and alternatives. And we got finally up to that section that we refer to many times. So it's section B. And the topic is how to bypass the problem. So the problem is, as we learned last time, if somebody forgot to make a blessing, or he's not sure, or she's not sure, they make the blessing, did not make the blessing. When was it, did the time pass, did not pass, this is included, this is not included. So all of these problems, right? So, okay, how to bypass that problem. The following are some of suggestions advised by Poskim to bypass this situation where making bracha is questionable. H. Commentary. Regarding the inapplicability of Gorem bracha sheina tzercha, causing an unnecessary bracha to be said. In cases such as this, in chapter 14, section C5. So basically, we said we cannot just decide, okay, I'm not sure if I say bracha or not, I'm going to say it anyway. So what worse could happen? Yeah, that's using Hashem's name in vain. That's a very bad thing could happen, right? So now we're going to go through the safe solutions. Suggestion 1, ask someone to be Motzi him. If someone else will be eating together with the person who has doubt, he should ask that person to be Motzi him in with his bracha. Right? See chapter 11, so that's straightforward way. So I'm not sure what are all these doubts, so I can ask somebody else to include me in his bracha. Okay. Suggestion number 2, so that's the most straightforward, the most easy. So make a bracha on something else. So this is more practical if you're alone, if there is nobody else in a room, right? Something else. If one has an item which has definitely not covered by his original bracha, he should make bracha on that item while having intention to cover the food that he will eat subsequently. For example, someone wants to drink a second cup of coffee, but does not remember whether he made bracha on the first cup. That's okay. Okay. So meaning he has to find something in the same bracha category. So on the coffee we say shechako, something that is shechako, but not water, right? Something else. He can take some food, for example, a piece of candy or fish, and make shechako on it while having in mind to cover the coffee. Okay. The presumption is that when one makes a bracha on a beverage, he does not plan to cover some foods that may subsequently eat. So let me just read it one more time. The presumption is that when one makes bracha on beverage, he does not plan to cover solid foods that he may subsequently eat. Therefore, if bracha had been made, it would not cover the solids, as explained in chapter 7. So let's see the commentary, and we're going to explain. Thus, if he indeed has to make bracha, he is yotze. If he does not need the new bracha, it is levatala, so in vain, since it is needed for candy or fish. Okay, so let's read this one more time and understand this thing. So they so suggestion number 2 was to make blessing on something else. This is in the same bracha category. So if he wants to drink second cup of coffee and not sure if he made the blessing on the first one, so he would need to find something that blessing is shechako, which is, as they say, candy, fish, whatever is it, a piece of chocolate, apple juice, all these liquids, right? And say the blessing on that thing, and keep in mind that it should also cover your second cup of coffee. Okay. So, and then there is presumption when a person makes a blessing on liquids. Usually, it does not include the solid food. Okay, that's usually, unless he wants to explicitly include them. And he said, "Okay, I'm going to make the blessing on my coffee, and also I'm going to eat cheese." Right. So I mean, he wants to start drinking coffee first, so there is no problem. So it's specific intention, but usually blessing on a beverage is not that does not cover the solids usually. But of course, as we said, there is exception. So. Okay, so one more time this this piece. So I said the presumption is that when one makes bracha on beverage, he does not plan to cover solid foods. Okay, that that he may subsequently eat. Okay, therefore, if bracha had been made, it would not cover the solids as explained in chapter 7. So basically, if he did on coffee, so it was not covered. He did not cover cheese. Right, let's say this cheese was in the refrigerator. Okay, so he can make blessing on the cheese now and continue drinking coffee. Okay. So next suggestion number 3: change location. One can end his eating session consisting of food other than bread or mizoines, right? As we said before, by changing location. For example, by leaving the house and to take care of errands. Okay. When he returns to his original location, he will have to make a new blessing if he wishes to resume eating. See chapter 9 for a full explanation of what's considered change location. Okay, so let's read commentary. I'm going to explain. According to some Paskin, change location also does not help if one drank revi'is of wine or ate kizais of one of 7 species of fruit, as explained in chapter 9, right? We said that there is such opinion, meaning what? That even in these cases, a person would have to go back to original place and say the concluding blessing. So basically, according to this paskim, the changes of location is not going to fly. So in going from one room to another, it's not exactly changing location. Not everybody agrees. Some say yes, some say no. Some say if it's under the same roof, you can see from one place, from that place when you're right now, you see the place or even partially when you made the blessing. So the best way is to go basically outside. You go outside, you come back. That's the thing. That's the best. So basically, you're obligated. So you terminated the original blessing if you made it. We're talking about the cases of doubts. Let's say if he made it but he forgot, right? So in this case, he went outside, he came back. So now he's obligated to make a blessing even if he drank only half cup of coffee. So he has to make a shechakol again to continue drinking. Okay. So okay. Continue. It is also it is important to note that this suggestion to change location is not applicable in case of one ate kizayis of bread or mizonos, right? As we said last time, no, not last, some time ago. So in this case, he's assumed that he's going to go back, and it's proper not to leave this place or any place until he finish the after blessing. But in this case, he's obligated to go back. In case of bread and mizonos. So technically, if he went outside and he came back, there is no problem. I mean, the blessing is still in force. So that would be a problem. So for other foods, all other foods, it's going to work, but not for bread and mizonos. Continue. Suggestion number 4: eat the item during the course of the meal. Okay. I mean, this one is much more difficult, right? So that's what I think. One can avoid making questionable bracha by waiting until he eats. Oh, okay. Wait. Okay, so not right now, but he waits. Bread, in which case the food will be covered by the berchas hamotzi. So meaning do not eat right now, and wait until you eat the next meal. For example, one wants to drink juice, but is unsure if the previously made bracha is still in effect. He can defer drinking the juice until he eats the bread, in which case the juice will be covered with the bracha on the bread. So that's a straightforward halacha, but again, I mean, you just want little juice, so you don't want to start the whole bread meal because you want to finish your cup of juice, right? So is it practical? I'm not sure. I mean, that's one of the solutions. Okay. Continue. It is important to know that one may not eat bread solely for the purpose of exempting food in question. That's as you see chapter 5, section E3. So, I mean, as we said before, it is disrespect to the bread. The bread is staple food, and now you just using it to resolve the issue. That's a big problem. Okay. It is also important to be aware that certain items discussed in chapter 5 are not covered by birchas hamotzi. Okay. So as we said, some kind of desserts, fruits, and they're not, unless it is his meal, right? So he's going to eat the bread with strawberry, let's say, right? So that then it's going, the strawberries are going to be his meal, and in this case they would be covered. Continue. Other suggestions. A number of other suggestions are discussed in English and Hebrew note below CM. Okay, so let's see what they say. So, but those are the most acceptable, the most popular. I would say the easiest one to do is just make a blessing on something else or go outside. I would use this. I mean, I would, but I use in this one. Just make the blessing something else. Okay. So let's see other suggestions. If one cannot utilize any of the alternatives discussed above, he can, according to many poskim, bypass the doubt by formulating the bracha in his mind without reciting the words. So that's, after all and said and done, it's not going to work for him for whatever reason. So many poskim say he just can say in his mind, not out loud, the blessing and continue it. But it's only in these exceptional cases, of course. According to this opinion, although one may not make bracha without expressing the words, it is nevertheless valid after the fact. Therefore, if the bracha was required, he's yotze. And if his bracha was not required, by not reciting bracha, Hashem's name, audibly, right? It is not considered bracha v'latala. So if, like after the fact, he was supposed to say blessing, no problem. right? After the fact, it's counted. But if he was not supposed to say blessing, so he did not say out loud the Hashem's name. So there is no problem. Okay, so that's good. So good to know. Okay, section C, applications. Number 1, problem, forgot whether he made bracha. Okay. One started drinking coffee and wants to continue, but does not remember whether or not he made a bracha. Okay, that's possible situation, of course. Solutions. Use suggestion at 1, 2, 3, and 4. If it is difficult, he may continue drinking without making a bracha. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So basically, all of them. Yeah, all of this that we said, there are all of them. Or as they say, if it's too difficult, so do just continue drinking. So my explanation, there is no explanation, but I think the rationale here is that most likely the chazakah is that he made the blessing, right? So because most likely he made the blessing, most likely. Okay, so he can just continue drinking. Continue. Number 2, problem, uncertain. So so first one is forgot whether he made bracha or not. Uncertain whether previously made bracha has lapsed. Okay, so basically that's a little different case. So he remembered that he made a blessing, but he does not know, maybe the time already passed, and that's it. I need to make another one. So let's see. One made bracha and drank cup of juice, commentary, and did not explicitly end it with leaving the premises. Did not explicitly end it with leaving the premises, or by making bracha Achrona. Okay. So one more time. One made bracha and drank cup of juice. Okay, let's read without commentary. That's confusing commentary. Half an hour later, 20 minutes later, he finds that he's thirsty and wants to have a second cup. That this time lapse, that this lapse in time caused the eating session to end, in which case he must make new bracha, or does his eating session continue until he explicitly ends it? Okay. In which case he may not make a new bracha. Okay. So how do we do? So now we have to remember all of this situation. How do we actually explicitly end the eating session? So let's say he thought that he's going to drink only this cup of juice. That's it, right? For whatever reason, he want to save the rest for tomorrow. Let's say. So as soon as he finished this cup of juice, that's it. His eating session is done. So now he changed the mind. So that's a different story, right? That's his eating session ended after he finished, right? Or he went outside, right? But in this case, also his eating session finished. But in this case that we are looking at right now, it's not clear because he did not go anywhere, and half an hour passed, and we said that the shiur for this the time period, right? The time period for eating session for snacks, like beverage and snacks, is half an hour. So let's say he does not know. Let's say he thinks that's more than half an hour passed. Okay, so and he wants to drink second cup. So what would it do? Use suggestion 1, 2, 3, and 4. If there is difficult, he may drink the second cup without making new bracha. Okay. So just to remind us, what is 1, 2, and 3, and 4? So number 1, it says to make somebody Motzi him, right? Number 2, is to make bracha on something else. Number 3, change the location, like we said, go outside. And number 4, eat the item during the course of the meal. So I mean, as we said, I mean, to start this bread session, it's a little, I would say, too much to ask for this person. Okay, just 1 second. Sorry. Okay. So those are 4 suggestions that they give. Or, as they say, if it's too hard for him, he may just continue drinking because most likely it did not elapse. So I mean, it's only 30 minutes. Some people say it's 72 minutes. So okay, but he can continue drinking. Okay, so number 3, problem. Ascertain whether he had intended to cover item. So that's a different issue. So as we said, for example, if it was before in front of him, it is covered even though he did not have like explicit thoughts to cover it. Right? So it would be good. But here he does not know. One made bracha and ate an apple. He's not sure, however, whether at the time he made bracha, he had in mind to eat other fruit. He now wishes to eat an orange, but does not know whether he is required to make a new bracha. Okay, so let's see commentary. There is an extensive difference in opinion among the Rishonim regarding someone who makes bracha without having specific intent to include additional items, which were not before him at the time he recited blessing. This halacha explains details in chapter 7. So just to remind us, so if it was on a table in front of him, or he usually eats more than one, right? Or it's the same kind, as we said. So in this case, most of the poskim say do not do it, right? But if it's a different kind, like we said, it was an orange, right? So let's say it was an orange. So not everybody would agree that it's covered if it was not in front of him. Okay, let's see the solution. Suggestion 1, 2, and 3. If it is difficult, he may eat orange without making a new bracha. So 1, 2, and 3. So basically, they left out the bread meal because, as we said before, the fruits and pastries, all of this nice stuff, are usually not covered by the bread meal. But in this case, I'm not sure why they left out. As we said before, if he makes a small meal, has only bread and orange. That's all. 2 oranges, let's say he has. That's all he has. So it would be his meal. It would be covered. But okay. But usually it's not covered. That's like if he has a real bread meal, with soup is another entry, so it would not be covered. Okay. Continue. Number 4. Problem. Uncertain whether it is covered by bracha on bread. Okay. Okay, that's an interesting one. So we said most of the things. Let me just open the windows. This air conditioner is not working out for me. 1 second. Okay. So let's see. So as we said before, not everything is covered by bread. Right. So now he's not sure if something is covered by bread. Uncertain whether it's covered by bracha. Bracha on bread. Number 4. One is eating a meal with bread and wants to eat particular food, but is not sure whether the food is covered by birchas Motzi or whether he must make separate bracha. See chapter 5. Okay. So what is the solution? Let's see. Use suggestions 1 and 2, or delay eating the questionable item until after the meal. There is until after benching. If there is difficult, he may eat the item without making new bracha. So the straightforward suggestion is what? Is ask to somebody to motzi him, right? Or make a blessing on something else. So second solution, on something else that for sure is not covered. For sure, like some kind of dessert, and have in mind to cover this item. Or, as they say, just don't eat it now, say Birchas Hamazon, and after Birchas Hamazon, say separate blessing and eat that thing. But at the end of the day, if it's too difficult, just eat without making blessing, because making blessing in vain is much worse than not making blessing. Okay, continue. Problem. It's problem number 5. Situation. Case. Uncertain whether it is covered by bracha on wine. Okay. One drank some wine and now wishes to have a cup of coffee, but is not sure what his intention were at the time he made bracha on the wine. If he had intended to drink coffee, he should not make bracha on the coffee. He did not intend to drink the coffee, and coffee has not been before him. When he drank the wine, he must make bracha. So as we can understand, it's not easy case, but usually as we learn when we learn in that chapter about coverage of the Baretricha Geffen, blessing on the wine, we said that it covers all of the beverages, but all of the beverages during the meal. I'm not sure why now. I mean, and it was accepted opinion. I'm not sure why he's going back on that opinion and go by other poskim said. So maybe it's not covered unless he explicitly intended. I'm not sure why he's doing that. So technically, when same as we eat bread. So when we eat bread, it covers all of the foods that are usually eaten during the course of the meal. So it doesn't matter they're in front of him, not in front of him. I mean, all of the solids and liquids. Usually people drink some liquids during the meal. Water, soda, I don't know, tea, coffee, whatever they drink, doesn't matter. Juice, whatever they drink. So they cover with the bread. So same concept with wine. So all of the beverages are covered. Okay. So they say the solution. Use suggestion 1, 2, and 4. So 1 is what? 1 is Motzi, ask somebody to include him. 2, blame blessing on something else. So they skip this change of location. So okay. So why did they skip this change of location? I guess because we said that according to some poskim, when he drinks the wine, he would need to go back to make the blessing. So basically, the blessing did not expire. Okay. So that's why they skip that. And or number 4, we said eat it or drink it during the bread meal. That's it. Okay, continue. If it is difficult, he may drink the coffee without making a bracha, as we said. Because one more time, it's not because it is not required, but because it is questionable situation. Number 6, problem. Uncertain whether his bracha is valid in present location, one made bracha on fish and made mashed potatoes and ate in his house and walked out to his backyard within the site of the original eating location and wants to resume eating. That change of location signals the end of the eating session, in which the case he must make new bracha, or does the change of location not cause the eating session to end? In which case he may not make a new bracha. See chapter 9 and section D5. Okay. So basically, what we said there, many poskim say that it's not considered the change of location. So it's still his domain, and it's like his backyard is considered like his other room. So if he can see from one place to another, so they say don't make a new blessing. So it's not actually the change of location. But let's see what they say. So solution, use the suggestion 1, 2, and 4. So 1, we said that to be Motzi, 2, make the blessing on something else, and 4, eat during the meal. So what they skip, they skip suggestion of change of location, of course. They already changed location. Or walk out to the street, which is considered the change of location. So not just outside to the street for sure, according to all views. If that is difficult, he may continue eating without making a bracha. Okay. Problem number 7. Decide to stop eating. One made bracha on bread, ate, and then decided that he had eaten enough and did not wish to continue. Now, he changes his mind and wants to resume eating. There is a difference of the opinion among the Rishonim, regardless whether or not he must now make new bracha. Okay. Solution. Use suggestion number 1. So suggestion number 1, somebody else to make a blessing for you. I mean, to be Motzi, to include you in his blessing. If it is difficult, he may eat the food without making a bracha. So basically, as we said from here, as we see from here, it's a lot of depends on intention of the Jew, right? And what he intended. So technically, be careful. Treat these blessings very seriously, and try to make the blessing with intention, and then start eating. Okay, so let's see what is the time. Okay, we have time. So we finished that chapter, and we started addendum 1, Bracha Achrona. So Bracha Achrona is a blessing after we ate. So until now, all of these pages until now, we will learn only the blessing before food. No. Did we cover the Hamazon? Don't remember. I don't think so. Okay, probably the Hamazon should be here in this section. Okay, so let's see. This volume of Halachos of Brochos deals primarily with the Halachos of Brocha Rishona. In addendum, we address some basic requirements for Bracha Achrona. So Bracha Achrona and invest. A Shiur. There is an important difference between Bracha Rishona and Bracha Achrona. The Bracha Achrona is required even if the smallest amount of consumption, whereas Bracha Achrona, Bracha Achrona is required only when the Shiur set minimum amount of food is eaten within a specific period of time. So we said we were talking about before, but let's just remind us. So the blessing before meal, before food, you make on any amount. If you want to eat a few crumbs, 2 crumbs of bread, so you would need to make a blessing. So go wash your hands without blessing, of course, and make a motzi and eat these few crumbs. There is no problem. All right. Of course, you're not required to make the after blessing. But in order to make an after blessing, there is a minimum amount that you must eat for a specific period of time. So if you ate this minimum amount for a longer period of time, so it's not considered eaten, then you would not be required to make the after blessing. So let's go into details. Number 1, salads. For salads, Bracha Achrona is not required unless one eats at least 1 kazayis of food. Okay, so 1 kazayis, as we said before, it's approximately 28 grams or 1 ounce. Okay, commented. According to some Rishonim, natural items which are whole, for example, whole grape, blueberry chickpeas, etc., required bracha achrona, even if they are smaller than kazayis. Other Rishonim of the opinion that even whole items do not require bracha achrona if they are smaller than kizayis. The Shulchan Aruch advises, therefore, that one should not eat much whole items unless he plans to eat kizayis. Eat such items whole until he plans to eat kizayis. If one does not plan to eat kizayis, it's preferable to eat a squash or break the items before he eats. So let's try to understand. So minimum requirements to make the after blessing is a kizayis, which is standard amount, right? We said 1 ounce, let's say. Right? There are different amounts, but we go by 1 ounce. And but some Rishonim says no, it's not only that. Since the whole pieces of food are important, like the whole grape, right? Piece of grape is important. So you must make after blessing even on this one piece of grape, even if it does not weigh the kizayis, which is 1 ounce. Of course not. So I'm not sure how many pieces of grapes. Depends on the grape, of course. Okay, we understand that, right? So, but since such an opinion exists, and according to them, you would have to make after blessing, even if you ate a few blueberries, let's say, or even 1 blueberry, if it was whole. So they say crush it, so don't make it whole, or cut it and have do something like don't eat it as a whole item, or eat kizayis, whatever you do. Right. So one more time. So for salads, we say at least a kizayis of fruit, and be within kidei achilas pras. Okay. So kidei achilas pras is as we said before, is a time is a period of time in which a person eats his meal, right? And we said the different opinions from 2 to 9 minutes. So it's a loaf of bread, whatever loaf of bread in the time of the Talmud, right? So he has to eat in order to say the blessing. After blessing, person has to eat 1 ounce of food plus in this in 2 to 9 minutes. Okay, so let's go into details. Kazayis. Kazayis, literally piece of size of an olive, is a measurement of olive. The poskim established this kazayis is amount equal to half of the large egg, including the shell. Okay. So in commentaries say there is equal to amount of water displaced by half of the large egg, including the shell. Okay, that's how we measure. So basically, you put you pour the water in some container up to the brim, and then you put this egg, the whole egg, into this water. Wherever the water spills out, you collect it. Of course, you put it in some other container. You collect it and divide it in half. That's your kazayis. But we go. I mean, you're not going to measure every time like that. So we know what is it in regular in a weight. So weight is approximately, of course, approximate, as we said, 1 ounce, 28 grams. Okay, so continue. With regard to the requirement of bracha achrona, preferably one should eat either less than half of the ounce or more than the ounce, and bracha and a half. 1 second, sorry. With regard to the requirements of bracha achrona, preferably one should eat less than half an ounce, or more than half an ounce, or more than an ounce. I apologize, and ounce and a half of solid foods. Other poskim rule that bracha achrona may be made on slightly less than 1 fluid ounce of the solid foods. Okay. So let's. There's a commentary, but before we go to this commentary, let's try to understand what we're saying here. So they say, since, as we said before, there are different opinions about how much this kazais is. The most lenient opinion, I think, or it's lenient or stricter. Okay, lenient. Let's say it's 0.7 ounce. I think that's the most lenient. So they say, to be on the safe side, okay, if you don't want to make the blessing after the meal, eat for sure less than kizais, or more than kizais, right? More than 1.5 ounces of solid foods. Okay, so 1 ounce and a half. What is it, like in grams? Maybe 45 grams or so, approximately, right? So, but the other poskim, so they try to make our life a little easier, right? So the rule that bracha achrona may be made on slightly less than 1 ounce of solid foods. That's what we use. This 28 grams is a little less than 1 ounce. So let's see. 3 poskim calculate the shiur kizayis with regard to bracha achrona as follows. A large egg with shell will displace slightly less than 2 fluid ounces, slightly less. Right? Thus, a kizayis is equal to amount which will displace slightly less than 1 fluid ounce. So, as we said, this 28 grams. Okay. A good approximation of kizayis is a half of the center slice of 1 pound bread, rye bread. Okay, so if you have 1 pound bread, so in grams, it's 450 grams bread, and and you slice it, regular slice it. So, and in the center, so the center slice, I would say it would be the biggest, and you cut it in half. That's the kazais. So basically, it's not a lot, as you understand. Some explanation number 2, kidei achilas pras. So now we're going to, after we establish the weight, right? So now we're going to the amount of time allotted to continue eating, right? So it says kidei achilas pras is a measurement of time, literally the time it takes to eat a portion. Okay, many poskim rule that this period of time is equal to slightly more than 3 minutes. Okay, so he goes by 3 minutes. Let's use this 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes. Therefore, lachatchila, one should eat at least 1 kizayis within the 3 minutes. So the most preferable. So of course we try to make to perform our mitzvah in the best way possible, right? Since if you already doing mitzvah anyway, so try to do it in the best standard possible. So the best standard possible, eat it under 3 minutes. So that's why on Shabbos when we eat challah, right? When we cut challah, and not even Shabbos, during the meal. I mean, no, Shabbos is a better example, and I'm going to explain you why. So usually during the meal, we're under stress. At least I'm under stress. So I have exactly like 15 minutes, including the Haloshon, to finish the whole meal. Sometimes 20 minutes, that's it. So, but on Shabbos, we have extra time, so you're a little relaxed. So, so here we say what? That it's preferable to finish, not preferable, the best to finish this 1 ounce, right, under 3 minutes. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal to finish under 1 minute, right? That's what we do. Okay, continue. B'diavad, if one ate kazais within the 4 minutes, he may make bracha achrona. So, okay, so 4 minutes also count. If kazais is eaten in a period of time exceeding 4 minutes, it is questionable whether or not bracha achrona may be made. So he's going by very strict opinion. So after 4 minutes, but we know there is some opinions 9 minutes. Okay, so we can count on them also. But the best way 3 to 4 minutes. Okay. Continue. Let's see. See how long is this section. Okay, so we try to finish at least this. Liquids. For liquids, bracha achrona is not required unless one drinks at least one revi'is. And B, second condition, within the kidei shitia revi'is, defined below. Okay, so again, with the liquids, two conditions. First one is how much, and second is in what period of time. So we're going to start with definition of revi'is. Revi'is is measurement of a fluid volume. The poskim established that revi'is is an amount equivalent to 1.5 large eggs, including the shell. Okay, so commentary. There is equal to amount of water displaced by 1.5 large eggs, including the shell. Okay. With regard to the requirement of bracha achrona, preferably one should drink at least 4.5 ounces of the beverage. Many poskim rule that bracha achrona may be made on slightly less than 3 ounces of beverage. So let's read the commentary and we're going to explain. This poskim calculates shiur of revi'is with regard to bracha achrona as follows: a large egg with each shell displays slightly more than 2 ounces. Thus, revi'i is equal slightly more than 3 fluid ounces. Okay. All right. So let's see what we do today. So let's try to understand. So how much is revi'i? So there are a few opinions. I heard about these 2.9 opinions. It is true, but when we go by the biblical commandments, and biblical commandments, I mean, or even rabbinical commandments, right? When a person should do a kiddush, for example, right? So it would depend on Friday night, on Shabbos day, or for example, he needs to drink the 4 cups of wine during the Seder on Pesach. So it's also like a biblical commandment, right? So in this case, we're trying to do like a more stricter opinion. Of course, if person cannot drink, we can always fall back on this linear opinion. That's 100%, or he does not have enough, or he has only enough if he dilutes a little with water. So that's all of this exceptional situation. Of course, we take them into consideration. But technically, the revi'is, we say it's from 3.1 ounces until 5.2. Right, so 5.2 is Chazanish, very strict, but if you want it to be strict, then there is no problem with you to drink that much, so you should do that. Especially when it's biblical. When it's rabbinical and you don't want it, so you're not obligated. Continue. There is a view among the poskim that the shiur of bracha achrona on a beverage is kizayas, so which is very small, rather than revi'is. A view among poskim. Okay. In deference to the minority view, the poskim advise that one should drink either less than the kizayas, in which case bracha achrona is indisputably not required, or more than revi'is of beverage, in which case bracha achrona is indisputably required. So even though we're not going by this opinion, this linear opinion that it's only 28 grams versus 86 grams, right? So on one hand, on another hand, we take it into consideration. So they say try not to drink between 28 grams and 96 grams, between 1 ounce and 3 ounces. Okay, so drink less than 1 ounce. So for sure, according to no opinion, you would need to make the after blessing, or drink 3 ounces. So at least by some opinions, you would need to make the after blessing. So basically, don't put yourself in this questionable situation. Okay. So now we're going to explain this time frame. So time frame would be kidei shtiyas revi'is. Okay. Kidei shtiyas revi'is is a measurement of time, literally the time it takes to drink a revi'is. Okay. The poskim established that the normal manner of drinking is by drinking revi'is in no more than 2 sips, with no more than 1 short pause between sips. So that's normal way of revi'is. I mean, okay. So we're going to discuss later on how does it apply. Usually people don't drink coffee like this. Okay, maybe if you're thirsty, you drink water like this, maybe juice, I don't know, other things, but coffee and teas usually people don't drink like that. It's a lot, right? In 2 times finish, like, I don't know. It depends what size of cup. So usually cups here, I think it's like 8 ounces. So it's like almost half of a cup in 2 sips, so it's a little too much. Continue. According to some poskim, the shiur for drinking revi'is is the same as that of eating kizayis. There is kidei chilas pras, meaning for as they say, 3 to 4 minutes, but technically, as we said, there is opinion even up to 9. So, but as we see, there's huge difference. It's huge difference in time. So this in 2 sips with small pause between them. I don't know what time is it, maybe 20 seconds or 4 minutes or 9 minutes. It's huge difference, right? Continue. Therefore, care must be taken to drink a bit more than revi'is at once. Okay. Otherwise, it is questionable whether the bracha may be made. If one did not do so, the mitchak ha'olam is not to make bracha. So if he did not drink, say if it was hot coffee, hot tea, was drinking with a small sip, so don't make a blessing after blessing. Continue. The poskim advise that when drinking hot beverages such as coffee or tea, it is preferable to allow some of the beverage to cool off in order to enable one to drink the last revi'is without interruption. So, or do this, right? Just leave yourself one revi'is. Then the question. Alternatively, one may eat kizayis of food or drink revi'is of another beverage, which is within appropriate time period, so that as to avoid the uncertainty regarding bracha achrona. Okay. So they say, okay, you're not sure, you cannot. The tea was too hot. It was only a little coffee. You're not sure. You're not okay. So they say make the blessing something else, right? As we learned today, right? That would cover, or drink whatever called the beverage. Drink some kind of juice that would cover it. Okay, so I think we can stop here. So the next section, because it's a big section. So the topic is the types of brachas Achrona. So of course it's Birchas Hamazon, Ala Mechiyah, and others. Okay, we can stop here. No problem. So we advance in very good. Cover almost half of the book. Okay, that's not a shame. Right, no problem. Any questions? If not,
Rabbi, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Okay, so when you mentioned that there's so many things that are covered under bread, what are the things that are covered under bread and which things are not covered under bread? And the same question as for wine.
Okay, that's a perfect question. So bread is covered. Bread is like main part of the meal, right? It's been always. So today people more rich. They have refrigerator. They eat meat more often, eggs and fish. But in olden days, the main meal was bread. That's it, right? And some other vegetables, whatever we can get. So whatever usually people eat with bread is covered by bread. So what do I mean? All of the salads. So whatever salads you make, covered with bread. Soups covered by bread. Meat, all of the stews, whatever you do, chicken, covered, fish covered by bread. So all of these things are covered by bread, 100%. What is not covered, right? That's a better question. What is not covered? So what is not covered, all of the desserts. So if you eat piece of cake, not covered by bread. If you eat strawberries, not covered by bread. If you eat candies, I don't know, some sweets, not covered by bread. You understand? So, but the rest is. And so we said fruits, like you want to eat a piece of watermelon, it's not usually a part of the meal, but as we said, there is exception. So you're in a present situation, and everything you have in your possession, you have 3 pieces of bread and a piece of cake and 3 strawberries. That's all you have, whatever, right? So then these 3 strawberries and piece of cake became the part of your meal. Why? Because you eat them for satiation. It's not you craving for sweets, right? You eat it for your satiation. So in this case, it become covered by bread. But otherwise, if you only eat because you desire the sweet taste or whatever taste, so it's not covered. So, and concerning wines, usually all of the, I was surprised he said it, because we said before, all of the beverages, could you put yourself on mute? It's, don't make noise, please, sorry. Thank you. So when we make the blessing on a wine, so first of all, okay. Another thing is that wine is not covered by bread because it's so important, and all other beverages, or most of the beverages, would be covered by bread. So you usually, why? Because usually people drink during the meal, whether it's water, lemonade, soda, whatever they drink, it's usually covered. And even if they drink liquor, right? If they, let's say, if they drink hard liquor, vodka, or brandy, whatever they drink. So if it's to promote appetite, so no problem. It's still covered by bread. But wine is not covered. So let's say somebody drinks wine, just a wine session, they have a wine session, right? So all of the other beverages would be covered. Would be covered. Whatever you want to drink coffee after that, you want to drink tea. I'm not sure who drinks coffee with wine, but okay. But let's say person is cold and he wants to drink hot tea, right? So this tea would be covered by wine. So that's it. So basically, it is covered in the case of the bread meal, whether it was on a table or it was not on a table. You had intention to eat it, did not have intention to eat it. It does not make any difference. Why? Because usually people during the meal they thought that they're going to eat so much, but then they start conversation, and now they want to eat more, right? So that's how it goes. Okay, did we answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Any topic? Okay, no problem. So I wish you all good Shabbos, and until Monday, Beezrat Hashem. Thank you.
Rabbi, just one more thing real fast.
I'm not in a rush. Go ahead, please.
When you mentioned the part about eating or drinking, I thought that if you drink less than 4 ounces, only the Brocha before is required.
If you drink less than 4 ounces?
Yeah. Like
no,
half of a, like if you had a can of Coke and you drink, let's say, half of the can, you'll say Shiur Kol before you drink, but then afterwards you don't have to say a blessing.
Okay, all right. So that's a good question. So let's clarify that. As we said, in order for us to put ourselves in a position that we are required to say after blessing, 2 things must happen. First thing, that amount that we drink, and the second is a period of time. So amount of drinking, as we said, as we just said, could you put yourself on mute? I apologize. Sorry. There's background noise. Sorry. Okay. So as we said before, there is one lenient opinion, or one posek. I'm not sure who is he, but we respect his opinion. So according to him, Rabbi is not 4 ounces, not 3 ounces, as we said before, right? It's 1 ounce. So that's why they say don't put yourself in a questionable situation. If you want to drink less than 1 ounce or more than 3 ounces, right? So except this one authority, so most poskim say it's whether 2.9 ounces or up. Whatever up is it? There is 4.2, 5.1 ounces. So technically, if person drank, let's say, let's take your example. If he drank even 4 ounces, right? So, but if he spread it to a very long time, let's say in 5 minutes, in small sips, so he would not be required to make a blessing. Get 5 ounces, but in a long period of time, he's not going to be required to make a blessing. Or they say, according to some opinion, the regular way of drinking, right, is revi'is in 2 sips. So basically, let's say, even if we go by this lenient opinion, this 1 ounce, right, in 2 sips. I mean, it's possible. It's not 1 ounce. It's not much. Or according to other opinions, there's 3 ounces in 2 sips. It's also not much, but it's considerable amount of liquid, right? So they say, do not put yourself in all of the questionable situations. That's what it is. So usually, if you're going to drink anything, doesn't matter how much, in small sips, you're not going to come up you're not going to be put in a situation that you would need to say after blessing. But they suggest, of course, as we read before, so it suggests just leave this 1 ounce, at least 1 ounce, and drink it in one sip or in 2 sips, and then you would be required to make the after blessing. But do it in let's say 3 to 4 minutes. Understand? Is it clear, or I confuse you? I hope not.
What about for food? How much food? Is it the size of a matchbox, or is it anything that, like you said, it's like 1 ounce of the size of a loaf?
Yeah. So this food is very simple. So we go by 1 ounce, right? But they say do not eat between half an ounce and 1 ounce. Why? Because there is some opinion that you have to make a blessing even after half an ounce. Like it's not half; it's like I think it's 0.7. I'm not sure they say half, but I think it's for 0.7 ounce. Okay, so just make sure that you eat 1 ounce. So as we understand, it's not a lot. It's not a lot, absolutely not. In 3 to 4 up to 9 minutes. That's it, and then you would be able to get it to make a blessing. That's it. So it's this food is very straightforward. So I always suggest people. So people ask me all the time, like how much is this? How much is that? I mean, you look at the package, like if you package food, right? Let's say there are cookies or whatever you have there, and you divide. Let's say there are 20 cookies, and you ate 2. So and you see how much is all together. So you divide and you know how much you ate. Right, it's one solution. And another solution, I always suggest people buy yourself these electronic scales from Amazon, from any store. They cost like $10 or so. And you can weigh. Right, people usually eat the same food, right? So you weigh your bread once, and then you know exactly how much is 1 ounce. So and you know exactly how much to eat right away, and the rest you can enjoy and relax and eat during the meal.
So if I eat, let's say, 1 ounce over a 9-minute period, I am required to say the after blessing?
Yes, correct. Mm-hmm. It's not only bread; it's any food, any solid food. Yes, under 9 minutes. Yes, but it's only like a very lenient opinion. So we try to stick to up to 3 minutes. 3 to 4 minutes. So that's the ideal goal. But as we understand, they say if it's a 1 pound bread, right, and you cut it in the middle, and the middle half you cut it in half. So it's like this piece. It's not big deal to finish even in 1 minute. You understand? Even 30 seconds. So you usually when we start meal on Shabbos, just to make sure, we start with bread. We eat only bread. Finish this 1 ounce, preferably 2 ounces, right? But minimum 1 ounce, and then we continue with the rest, and we eat bread like as much as we want. Right? The problem with the bread is not going to cover other foods. So it covers other foods if you eat only kibeitza. Kibeitza is a double egg, right? It's 56 grams, 2 ounces. So in order for we didn't get to it, but I'm just telling you, right? In order for bread to cover all other foods, you must eat 56 grams. But in order to say Birchas Hamazon after the blessing after the meal, so it's enough for you to eat only kizayis, only 1 ounce.
So basically, if I have a salad, but I only have 1 ounce of bread, I would have to say blessing over the salad and the bread. Correct.
First, of course, you're right 100%. But first, of course, you go wash your hands. So if you have, I just wanted to explain. So if you have only 1 ounce, that's it. And or let's say you have more, but you're not going to, you don't want to eat more for whatever it's your personal business. You don't want to eat more, so you have only 1 ounce. You understand that salad is not covered, but you have to wash your hands. So in this case, you wash your hands without blessing. You wash your hands without blessing. You say Motzi on the bread, dip it in salt. You ate this bread. There is no problem. So make sure that you eat it in 3 to 4 minutes, up to 9 minutes, but preferably 3 to 4 minutes. And then on the salad, you say blessing on whatever salad you eat, and that's it. So then you say Birchas Hamazon for bread, but the salad is not included. So you say separate blessing for the salad, but in nefashos.
And we always have to wash our hands. Even after the meal, we should have a wash bowl at the table.
Okay, so that's a different story. So we didn't get to it, but it's a good question. So the wash after that, there is Maim Rishonim, right? The first when wash with a big cup with 2 handles, right? With two on one hand, 2 on another hand, and but at the end of the meal, it's Maim Achrona, right? The end waters. So usually it's a small cup, right? Usually a small cup. I mean, it depends how many people you have. Of course, you can refill it. It's not a problem. So we wash only end of our fingers, right? And we wipe our lips, right? And that's it. So there is no blessing for this washing. But all of the people must wash after we ate bread. So there are a few explanations. One explanation is that you dipped it in salt, and that's how usually people used to eat. And the salt may be from Sodom, from the Dead Sea, and it's very, very very poisonous. So if you have like some residue of the salt on your hands, and then you touch your eyes, the person can go blind, basically. So our sages, and plus, and another explanation that your hands are filthy, right? So of course, in the olden days they ate with their hands, right? So your hands are filthy. So before making a blessing, you have to eat this. You have to wash your hands, right? It's always with all of the blessings. I mean, with all of the mitzvahs. Before you do mitzvah, you wash your hands, right? So with whatever you do before praying, before you want to learn Torah, so just spiritual purification.
Isn't the requirement the variable whether you only rinse your finger or if you rinse over your knuckles? Is that the difference? If the water goes over the whole hand or if it's just the fingers?
Oh, no, okay. So that's a good question. So it depends what are you asking? The washing before the bread? Is it the question or after?
After the bread.
Okay, after so the best if you want to go with the best. So they say to wash all fingers, the whole fingers, right? But some say to some minimum up to this knuckle. The first knuckle, that's the minimum requirement. So, and that's what most of the people do, and that's what you see by this vessel, my Achrona, that they sell in the store. I'm not sure how much it's called, but if you use it for several people, for sure nobody washes like that. First of all, like utensil to collect water is very small, so usually people wash like ends of the fingers. But of course, it's praiseworthy to wash like up to the whole fingers, of course.
Is that the same for before?
No. Before you there's proper way to wash up to the wrist, right? So we put one, right on. So you pick up with the right hand, pass it to the left hand. You do one, and then on the right hand, then one on the left hand, right? And then you go like this. So to make sure that the water went everywhere, right? Then you do like this. And shake water and like hold water, so it would go everywhere. So all of this so the water cover all of the parts of your hands, right? And then you may make a blessing, and you wipe your hands. So don't wipe and then say blessing. So we say blessing while it's still wet. So we try that the water, right, would not go back to the hands, because the spiritually clean, and the body, like below this part below the wrist, is already dirty. I mean, spiritually dirty, right? Because of the sweat and stuff like that. So so we're trying to hold like this in front of our face, like sticking the fingers, right? So the water go everywhere, and that's it. That's the thing. So it's much more water during for washing before the meal than after the meal. After the meal, you need like a small amount.
So it's not 3 times over each hand. It's not picking up the water with the right, pass it to the left, over the right, over the left, over the right, over the left, over the right, over the left. It's just
no. You mean like this?
No.
It's no. This you're doing when you wake up, right? That's how you wash your hands. One, or after the restroom, right? That's to remove this ritual impurity. That's what you do. Yes.
What about the reading of the Torah?
For reading of the Torah, so yes. So for all the spiritual matters, you're right. So for example, you scratch yourself in a place that you usually covered, right? So you scratch your back, right? For example, you went under the shirt and you scratch your back. So if you want to learn now, and if you want to pray now, so in all of these cases, you must wash your hands. One. Yes, in all of these cases, absolutely.
Okay, but so 1, not 3 and 3.
Oh, why not 3 and 3? I didn't get it.
No, I was just making sure I got it right. So only 3 and 3 when you wake up and when you go to the bathroom, and plus when you want to pray, or you want to do some mitzvah. So for example, you want to shake lulav and esrog. So we usually wash our hands like in preparation for a great mitzvah. Right. So in all of these cases, yes, you wash one, 3 times on one, 3 times on another one. But before bread, so there is a different custom. One do only 1 time, and they stop. So, but Shulchan Aruch said do 2 times, right? 2 times on right and 2 times on the left. But it's only before eating bread, or before eating moist food. So what does it mean? So if you wash your apple, right? So you want to eat apple, and you wash it, and you did not wipe it like completely
dry, or you want to dip your for example, you want to dip your apple into the honey. So honey is also considered to be liquid, right? That passes impurity, right? There are 7 liquids, and you want to dip something into the honey, right? And you're going to hold this piece of apple, let's say, by with your hands. So in this case, you have to wash your hands also, if this is good, if it's the case. If you're going to dip your thing, whatever food into the liquid, that's what we do in during the Pesach, right? Pesach Seder. We take some people take piece of potato, some take a piece of onion, dip it in radish, whatever they do, into the salty water and eat. And before that, if you pay attention, we go and wash our hands without the blessing. So same is here. So if I want to eat my apple and I wash my apple and it's not completely dry, I must wash my hands before that. So that's what we do. But also 2 times, 2 on right, 2 on left, exactly like for a bread.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Any topic? Okay, no problem. All right, so thank you very much. It was a successful week. So until next week, Beezrat Hashem. Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
Thank you. Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.